People assume doctors are confident speakers, that talking comes easily to us, but there was one thing that I had to overcome before I became a doctor, and I thought it was going to stop me completely. And that was how I spoke. If you're watching this thinking doctors don't struggle like I do, I want to tell you my story because it might completely change how you view yourself, how you view your confidence or lack of confidence, and how you view your stutter. Let's dive in. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. McCool. I'm a GP from Ireland for 10 years, and I'm a person who stutters. I have a free online platform for people who stutter called Stutter Connect, which you're welcome to join. Link is in the description below. I've had a stutter for as long as I can remember. Speaking aloud in school was a nightmare. Presentations were nerve-wracking. Phone calls were no-go. Socializing was extremely difficult for me. And then when I decided to become a doctor, I thought to myself, how could I become a doctor? I have a stutter. How can I speak to patients, speak to family, speak in the telephone, get proper diagnosis, be an effective communicator? And I really thought at that stage that I could never become a doctor. I could never become a good doctor because of my stutter. That would hold me back, or so I thought. During medical school, the hardest part wasn't the exams, it was the constant fear, the anticipation of stuttering, the avoidance of presentations, the voice in your head telling you you're not good enough and you shouldn't be here. I avoided situations, I avoided phone calls, I avoided presentations. And once I got into a bad stuttering block when I couldn't hide it anymore, I had guilt, shame, anxiety, self hate, all of those negative stuttering feelings that everyone with a stutter has been through. And here's the truth that most people don't hear. The one thing that I had to overcome wasn't my stutter. It was that belief that a stutter disqualified me from the role, which was completely false. I realized that people and patients don't care about perfect fluent speech. They care about honesty, integrity, hard work, empathy, and someone who is a good listener. And once I stopped trying to hide my stutter, once I started to show my stutter, there was a weight lifted off my shoulders. I stopped trying to avoid situations, avoid words, avoid phone calls, avoid presentations. I started showing up before I was ready. I started to stutter anyway. I started to show my stutter. I started to speak about my stutter, and things got a lot easier. There was a massive weight lifted off my shoulders as a result. And paradoxically, once I started to show my stutter, that is when my speech actually improved. Things got easier for me. I started to enjoy speaking once again. I started to enjoy presentations, phone calls, socializing, speaking to patients. I didn't have that dread of fear that I would stutter in front of people, as I realized that there was nothing to be afraid of. It's like being afraid to jump in the deep end of the swimming pool. And once you jump into the swimming pool, you realize there is nothing to be afraid of, provided that you can swim, and I could swim. It just took those moments of showing up before I was ready. Once the anxiety and the fear was high, having the bravery and the courage to face the speaking situations, to choose to do a medical degree, to choose the presentations, to choose the phone calls, to choose to show up exactly as myself, as a person who stutters. And I will never be a fluent speaker, but that is okay. I am happy with that because my goal is to be happy and content in the way I speak, and to be a great communicator, and to be a better than fluent speaker, which I'm truly on the road to become. And if you stutter, you can transform yourself into a better than fluent speaker also. Or if you suffer with any self-doubt, shame about any other topics in your life, and you feel that you're not good enough to pursue a medical degree, I hope my story can inspire you to follow your dream, to don't give up on it, to have the courage and the bravery to apply for the degree, to apply for the course, to show up as you truly are, no matter what difficulty, inherent difficulties that you were born with or that you have got attained over your life, you can still do it. The key is to show up before you're ready. Confidence comes after action. Confidence doesn't come sitting there reading affirmations to yourself. Confidence comes when you have the courage and the bravery to show up who you truly are, to face your fear, to do the thing that you're afraid to do, to make a promise to yourself that you are a person who shows up despite fear, despite stress and anxiety, and starts before they are ready, because that is where true confidence will develop from. But it all takes daily, consistent action. Today, not waiting until tomorrow, not waiting on next week. Today, face the thing that you're afraid to do, that you know you should be doing it. And all of these years later, I have been a GP now for 10 years, and I make 20 to 30 phone calls every single day, and I have 20 to 30 consultations every single day as a GP. And I try not to hide my stutter. I try to show my stutter. I try to show people who I truly am. And I have been in contact with thousands of patients and people to this point, and I've realized that people do not care about my stutter as much as I used to care about my stutter. People care about the qualities that I bring: my empathy, my listening skills, my hard work, my dedication to the role and to their care. If you have a stutter or you want to become a doctor, I hope I can inspire you to follow your dream path in life. Nothing worth achieving in life comes without difficulty and struggle. If you have a goal strong enough, have the courage to follow it. Mount Everest is difficult to climb, but the difficulty makes it worthwhile. It gives it value. If Mount Everest was too easy to climb, it wouldn't have value. Everyone would be doing it, and it wouldn't be worth doing. Whatever your Everest is, if you truly want to climb your Everest, if it's truly your goal and not someone else's goal, have the courage, the bravery, the persistence, the dedication, the hard work to taking that first step today to climbing your Mount Everest. Because as cliche as it sounds, it is truly the journey that counts. The view at the top is amazing, but when you look back, it's those difficulties and those times when you showed up, when the fear and the anxiety were high, that really count, that you really will look back and be proud of yourself that you have done it. And once you start facing difficulty and adversity in life, it is a remedy for those negative feelings that you have, those negative feelings of depression and anxiety. They can be alleviated by having the discipline, the dedication to do those hard things towards your goal, your Everest that you have in your life. So if you're sitting there suffering why you feel depressed, why you feel anxious, and you don't really know why, one of the main reasons that I see is you don't have a strong enough why, a strong enough purpose, a strong enough goal. And the first thing you need to find is finding that goal, finding that purpose, finding that Everest. And the second thing you need to do is get on your way, get on your boots, lace up your boots, and start hiking towards that summit, whatever that summit is in your life. If this video resonated with you, please subscribe to the channel and comment below what has helped your stutter, what is causing you difficulty in your life at this time, and how are you on your way to overcoming it. And if you want one-on-one stuttering support, link is in the description to my Stutter Transformation Program, where I help people who stutter one-on-one achieve their goals, live with a stutter, and get rid of the stutter confidence, avoidance, and shame. Remember, if I can transform my stutter into a person who has control over his stutter and his speech and enjoys speaking and has become a competent doctor, you can also. Because if I can do it, you can do it. Best luck, everybody.